kill him. Follow me.
Hey there everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to RCP Gaming. Rick here, bringing you the first installment of the review series, which is going to be Oddworld New and Tasty. Now, this is actually a game that was remastered from the PlayStation 1. It was originally called Oddworld Abe's Odyssey, and it's a full, complete HD remaster, this game. And for me, they've done an excellent job. Now, I'm going to show you guys some comparisons between the old one and the new one. But for now, we're going to just look at this opening menu. And as you can see on the opening menu, it's very, very similar to the original. If you never played the original, it was exactly the same layout, but it was sort of a bit more grainy and it wasn't smooth. Now, one of the first things that you'll notice that wasn't in the original is that you now have a difficulty menu, as you can see there. You have like easy, normal, hard. And as you progress to the next menu as well, you will see that there is a single player option and a co-op option. Now, the co-op option is not really co-op. It's like when you die, you basically pass the controller to another person. So it's not really a co-op. It's a bit of a misleading sort of topic. So if you are going into this for a co-op reason, don't, because it's just not co-op. It's very misleading. Now, in the next portion here, I'm going to show you the comparison between the 1997 version and the 2014 version, which is this version. Now, the 1997 version, sorry, was on the PlayStation 1, and this was released on the 22nd of July 2014. So, obviously, in that huge, big span of time there has been a lot of changes. Like, it's really, really evident the differences between the game. So as you can see, one is really grainy and the other one is really vibrant, bright colors. It's a lot more zoomed in, everything's crisper, it sort of flows a bit nicer. And what I'll do is I will show you a bit more footage of this opening sequence here, and I'll actually show you the full sequence on the remake version, just so that you can see on a full screen picture how much nicer it actually looks.
This is Rupture Farms. They say it's the biggest meat processing plant on Oddworld. I used to work here. Well, I was really a slave, like all the others. That's me. My name is Abe. I was Employee of the Year. Now I'm dead meat. I crossed the meanest boss in the world. Mullet the Gluckin. My whole life changed in just one day. I was working late one night at Rupture Farms. We used to make meat munchies. Until the meaches were through. We still made pear-bite pies. And we made some good scrab cakes, too. I thought I had a good job, but that was before I knew how we'd make new and tasty. I was still to find. The truth, it turned out. Now that would blow my mind. The Gluckins were scared, because profits were grim. Paramites and scrabs had been turning up thin.
As you can see, things are going down. Watch.
But Mullet was cool.
Show him.
He had a plan. This new kind of meat? What? It was us!
We got a lot of them left. We'll chop them up.
I just had to escape. I just had to be free. And I didn't even know I had a destiny. So, get me out of here!
Okay, so with that opening sequence watched, I'm just going to explain a bit of the story for anybody that never actually played the original. You are actually a weakling. You're a factory worker called Abe, and you are working for a company called Rupture Farms. Now, at Rupture Farms, they make meat products, and one of the things you find out very early on, as you can see in the opening sequence there, was that you and your friends are going to be transformed into their latest meat products. So the aim of the game is to try and escape from Rupture Farms. Now, there are 3 different ways that you can sort of play through this game. You can either be very, very selfish and play through and not rescue anybody, in which case that will give you a certain ending, but it's not the only ending. There is actually 2, maybe 3, I think, different endings. So if you rescue everybody, you might get one ending. If you rescue half or a certain amount, you might get another ending. If you rescue nobody, you're going to get a different ending. So there is a replay value in there to get the 3 different endings, which is really good because right from the word go, as you're going to be able to see in these first couple of clips here, there is actually a secret location where you have to rescue the first few. Now, in this secret location, as you can see here in the remake version, it actually shows you a little bit of where the trapdoor is, whereas in the original version, you didn't have that. It was completely obscured by that barrel where he lifts the trapdoor. Now, one of the big things that's in here is like the change in voice commands. So you actually have voice commands that you can give using the D-pad. And on the D-pad, you actually have a follow me option, an all of you option, a wait option, and then you have comedy commands like a fart and a laugh command as well that you can give. And as you'll see in this little section here, you can actually tell people what to do, and you also have like the ability to control things as well. So if you actually pray and you like, you know, you'll see here, he's like, does this sort of like praying motion. You are able to take control of bad guys. So that little guy there with the gun, he is actually called a slig, and you can actually control him by praying and possessing him. So that is something that was actually in the original game, but as you can see in this remastered version, it looks really, really nice. It looks really, really smooth. There's no sort of like lag and glitchiness, because that was one of the things that I was most impressed with on this remastered version, was the fact that they'd cut out all of the glitchiness and all of the things that they could have done better in the original. So they've really, really looked into this game and done it justice. Now, the original game was called Abe's Odyssey, and this is called New and Tasty. Now, I don't know whether they're actually looking to the future in making Oddworld's Abe's Exodus, which was the follow-on from this game. And then there was one more on the Xbox called Oddworld Munchie's Odyssey, I think it was called, but I never actually played that. But I believe it was quite good, but it wasn't really, it wasn't really the previous two, didn't really meet that standard. But in this version, it's really good that they've cut out all of the glitchy bits. Now, as you can see in this next little piece here, this particular segment is almost identical to the original. I think, to be honest, a lot of the game is identical to the original. There's not really anything that they've added that wasn't in the original, which I like the idea of that, because for the old school gamers that are buying this game thinking, yes, it's going to be, it's going to be how it was, it literally is. But there are little things that they've made a bit easier and that you will notice big time. So as you can actually see in this segment here, when you move cross screen, it doesn't cut off. It's not static. It's not static screenshots. The whole game flows. So as you move from left to right, this particular segment might have been in two different parts. So you might have where he's, scrubbing the screen. That might have been one screen. And then the screen before when you actually possess the slig, that was its own screen. So that is one of the things that I'm really impressed with that they've adjusted. And also the gun motions, like being able to shoot the Mudokons and everything else, pull levers. Oh, he's just fell down that hole. But, you've got that ability there, and that whole gameplay side of it is the same. So that, in terms of gameplay, it is very, very similar. It's almost identical, in fact. But graphically and game mechanical-wise, where you're moving cross-screen, that is all new, and that is really, really good. I think that looks excellent, and they've done a really good job of that. So moving on to this next little bit here, you can actually see that you are able to get weapons. You're not completely defenseless. You can get weapons. You've got like this little grenade thing here, and you can use those to kill the bad guys, kill the sligs, as you will see in this little section here. Now the controls aren't as clunky as the original was. In the original game, like the running and the jumping, you had to be like absolutely masterfully timed to get things, to pull off effectively what you wanted to pull off. But on this version, it's a lot smoother. It doesn't feel as clunky. It doesn't feel as heavy, the controls. It's just really, really nice. It's perfect. They've just seemed to master it down to a T. So that is another thing that's really, really good. And as you can see there, we can actually blow people up. And you can use this as well to detonate mines to free up a clear run at rescuing your fellow Mudokons and co-workers. So it is a big improvement. It is something that is really, really good and nice and efficient, and I really, really cannot praise them enough. Now you can also do this like sort of sneaky thing whereby you can drop them in the shadows, these people, so you can get them to follow you into the shadows, and then if there was a bad guy coming, you can tell them to wait. They will wait there while the bad guys move past, and then you can use your summoning powers to open the portal for the Mudokons to escape. And you will actually see as well on that screen, the big screen there, that they have safely traversed into the escapees, which is really good. That's what you want. That's the whole point of the game. But as I say, you don't need to follow that. You don't need to rescue them. You can actually speed run through this game in maybe 4 or 5 hours if you actually know where you're going and what you're doing. So in my eyes, this game, the remastered version, for anybody who was a fan of the original and is buying this game for the romantic purposes of playing it to remember how good the old days were, it does it justice. It's mended some of the things that were clunky and glitchy about the original game. So for me, it's a solid, if you're buying it for the romantic purposes of replaying the game, it's a solid 9 out of 10 I would give. It's really, really good. And if you are playing this for the first time and you are playing it to enjoy a story and for replayability value and how nice it looks, again, it might even be a 9 again. It might be a 9.5 even. It might even be a 10. Because it was a game that I really, really loved, and it's so fun, and there's just so many little things that you can do throughout the whole game. So that would be my verdict on this game. Now, this is the end of the review. Now, I would really, really appreciate your feedback, your input to me, just because I would like to know whether you guys want to see more of these and what you actually thought, whether you might even go out and buy this game. As I say, it's roughly now about maybe £5 in the UK. I'm not sure what that would equate to in dollars. But you can also buy this in game now, at this price now in game, for $15 or £15, £10 maybe. you know, that's its retail price at the moment, and that is for a game that at this current moment in time is 4 years old. It's 4 years old for the remastered version, but as I say, it came out in 1997, so it's nearly, what, 20 years old. You know, they've done a really, really good job of the remake. So that's it for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to go and buy this game, let me know. Leave a like or a comment and just let me know what you guys thought of this review. But for now, that's it. Take care, you guys, and I will see you all in the next review. Ciao.
Yeah.